Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from the MLG studios here in New York City. We are tied 1-1, Nestea versus Snute. This is match 1 of the round of 16 group involving Nestea, Snute, Alicia, and Sen. The winner of this game will advance to the winners final. The players are ready. I'm going to hit the start game button. Of course, I'm axeltoss, joined by axslav. Should be a good one.
It should be a great one. In fact, his last 2 games, it's been really interesting, is seeing Snute style play versus Nestea's. Nestea's been, doing the muted style we've seen throughout most of Heart of the Swarm. Snute's built up a new style to try to take advantage of the buff Spore Crawler.
It's pretty cool. I mean, Snute, basically is like, all right, I just want a fast third, no matter what. And that's what he's been doing, using the hyper-upgraded lings early on, take map control. And it's kind of weird to think about because, when Muta's in the air, you're like, all right, the Muta's have map control. That's just how it works. But Snute's like, I'm just going to make nothing but speedlings. You can't kill all my speedlings with your mutas. And then all of a sudden, like, it's in a weird way, Snute has map control. It's a really crazy development here. And of course, this is a very important game. The winner of this game, again, will advance on to the winner's final of today's group. In the bottom left-hand location, I have the pleasure of introducing the Blue Zerg player hailing from Norway. Representing Team Liquid, he is 1 win away from advancing to the winner's final. He is Snute. And his opponent in the top right-hand location, a legend of StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty, trying to carry that history over into Heart of the Swarm. Lost his first game of the tournament, his first map of the tournament in game number 2. He's 1 win away from advancing to the winner's final. He is Nestea. Of course, representing Team Incredible Miracle.
You know what I find interesting is that the first 2 games we saw, in game 1, Snute tried to get some early aggression going on, delaying that expansion for faster speed. And in game 2, Nestea went for, the economic sacrifice to get faster speed in that game. In both situations, the defending player defended well and really just came out a little bit ahead in that macro game.
Yeah, it might be interesting to see how that kind of goes into this game. Do we see similar styles from both players, or do they kind of start, I guess, respecting each other a little bit more as far as, okay, not applying as much aggression and really focusing on the droning up so they can get to their tech, get to their expansions a little bit faster than before. We're already seeing some intriguing deviations here from both of these players, a little bit of a faster pull here from Snute compared to his opponent Nestea. And Snute's not even taking gases here, so just wanting some the potential for early links and, of course, able to make that early queen.
Both players opening more macro focused than for example, Snute in game 1 and Nestea did in game 2. But like you mentioned, Snute's gas is later than is standard for the pool hatchery opening, just by a little bit. So that really signifies his intent to get an economic advantage. And these early minerals he accumulates, he can use those to build a faster third hatchery as long as he doesn't be forced into too much defense, having a slower Zergling speed.
By the way, guys, tweet hashtag WCS, and you might get your tweet featured on the stream there, scrolling along the bottom. Of course, beautiful player cams with New York City in the background. Again, this game so important. The winner advances to the winner's match. Snute coming across the map here with 2 lings, getting some scouting information done. Going to try to target down a drone. Almost the unluckiest drone in the world. It is doesn't up. Did he get it? No.
He did get 1 drone.
Okay, he got 1 drone.
That's right. And that the Zergling who got the kill is now retreating.
Nice. Well, that was worth it.
It was. 1 Zergling for 1 drone, definitely worth it. Of course, he did make his Zerglings earlier than Nestea, so of course there's a small cost to, opportunity cost and not getting the drone quite as fast, but more than compensated for getting that kill. Of course, Nestea's speed is going to be done in about a minute as opposed to...
Look at that layer timing.
Wow, very fast layer.
Jeez.
That's definitely faster than we've seen in the last couple games. More speeding, baiting orientated in the hatchery phase. And this could mean a couple potential openings. We'll see how much gas Nestea goes for. Is he going to go for some crazy type of mass roach attack, trying to say, okay, if Snute takes his fast third,
like a roach speed thing.
yeah, maybe I could try to hit a kind of a unique timing against him.
I don't know, man. Against mass lings, at that early stage in the game, when you're not going to have a ridiculous amount of roaches, if you're going for roaches this fast.
You would need banings too,
yeah,
for sure. And of course, I don't know if he has the economy at this point to really get a lot of both of those units.
Now the question is, can Snute identify this? Because that would be a huge win for Snute if he can identify how fast this layer is. Even more so if he can identify the tech choice. Oh my god, Snute is making nothing but units.
And this is actually a great counter when Nestea techs this fast. It means he has a much harder time affording any banelings. In fact, he has no baneling nest. And he has no spines either.
He's making a spire right away.
Oh, if Snute has recognized this, a mass attack is definitely going to counter Nestea's opening. Nestea, though, can he scout this and figure out in time? He's going to have to make a lot of spine crawlers.
One spine is down. 2 spines are down here from Nestea. He's realizing the possible threat from his opponent. 2 evolution chambers in production here from Snute. 2 drones as well. 7 drones in production.
Snute is not committing to this attack. That means Nestea should be fine on defense. And it comes down to the question, can Snute defend his third base against the speed at which Nestea is going to have meatless?
Okay, Ling's coming in here trying to surround that queen, seeing the progress of the spines. I think he spotted one of the gases at the natural expansion as well. 2 banelings trying to get completed here. Nestea is going to need perfect control to fend this attack off. He needs those spines to finish the banelings, trying to get those detonations. Not quite exploding just yet, trying to target down those spines before they get done, but Nestea doing a decent job so far. There's a good detonation from Snute, but Snute just does not have enough to break Nestea here.
The good thing for Snute is seeing the spine cores, seeing no banelings, should tell him the Nestea did go straight for lair, so he's got to be aware that mutas could come out much faster than normal.
These are so fast, these mutas. I'm a little bit worried here for Snute.
You know, Snute is spreading creep to that third base very quickly, so I think he could get a spore crawler there in time, but he has to start those spore crawlers very soon.
All right, layer halfway done here for Snute. Of course, the Overseer is one of the most important scouting units. You know, generally, once that layer is done, a Zerg player will get that Overseer out and scout, unless they get a crazy fast layer and don't want to reveal the fact that they have a crazy fast layer in Nestea's case. But Nestea's spotting the third base from his opponent, knowing that that third base is happening. And there's a spore in production here from Snute. He might have smelled something.
Oh, Speedian's at his third base. Any damage a hatchery takes is going to make him more vulnerable later on.
Gosh, the Ling's targeting down that hatch. Is Snute going to have to cancel this? Ling's coming forward here from Snute. 1-1 is not yet done, and he is going to shoo those Lings away. Another spore in production at that third base. We talked about the importance of getting that creep connected. That means you can also transfer those queens a little bit faster, too, to try to deal with those mutas. Now, we're going to have to see if Snute can deny his opponent's third base. He absolutely knows the mutas are, in effect, infestation pit, immediately thrown down.
Oh, the muta's heading straight to the main. No spore up quite yet, so a few drones are going to fall. The question is, will it be enough to compensate for the fact that Snute does have that much faster third base?
Spore Crawler just now finished. Workers killed up to 7 here for Nestea. It's 44-34 in favor of the Red Zerg player. Snute running by straight into his opponent's main base, getting a lot of damage done to the drones. So both these players attacking each other's economies at this point in time. The Muta's still trying to get their damage done, but more and some more spores are finishing here from Snute. Again, he has 3 bases up. For now, that third base has not been tapped into at all by the Mutas. The Harvester's now equalized at 39-39, but Snute losing a queen at his natural expansion, scrambling to try to deal with this. Ling's being sent to the third base again, just trying to keep Nestea from expanding that economy.
Snute with a nice counterattack there, keeping Nestea's drone count low. Of course, what Snute does have to worry about is the potential of a roach attack later. But actually, he's actually scouted all of Nestea's base, and he sees no roach warren. So knowing this, he can be free to make nothing but drones and infestors.
Pathogen Glands is about 70% of the way down. Ling still being really annoying across the map. Snute looking really good in this game. Again, he's on 3 bases. He has more drones than his opponent. 57-39 in favor of Snute. Snute actually looking like he could win this game.
Of course, Nestea has a very large muta pack, much more mutas than he invested into the last 2 games. Snute is going to need a couple more spore cores. He's going to need to defend with minimal losses.
Money fungals would be brilliant here for Snute.
Infestors are still about half a minute away. Yeah. Overseer from Nestea coming down.
So the fungal, there's a little bit of a delay nowadays in Heart of the Swarm for those of you relatively new to this game versus Wings Liberty. It's more of a projectile than actual an instant spell. Look at this, Nestea splitting up those mutas, realizing that infestors could be in effect. A great move there from Nestea. Only 2 spores here at the third base of Snute. Adding on a third, realizing how many mutas are there.
Oh, across the top, Snute trying to sneak some speedings by the mutas of Nestea. If he can get those to cancel the third base of Nestea, it's going to be a giant win for Snute.
Snute going across the map, heading straight for that third hatchery. Nestea needs to keep that alive. He realizes that fact, going to back up those mutas, but behind this, Snute making more and more drones, even adding on a missile upgrade here. The hatchery getting targeted down. Can Snute take this down again? He has 1-1 on those lings. The mutas desperately trying to come back and prevent that from happening. If Snute can take this hatchery, that would be huge. Just getting so low on health, and it looks like he will be successful. The hatchery goes down. Snute remains up in bases 3-2, and now once again, just like game 2, Nestea might be on the ropes.
Nestea making a brilliant choice to switch over to Swarm Host. Of course, if you're going to be behind in economy, you know your opponent is committed to ground-based units. Swarm Hosts are a great way to try to make a comeback because they're insanely cost-efficient against other Zerg ground units. It's going to be tricky, though, because there's going to be a period of time when he has a few amount of Swarm Hosts.
Yeah.
And when there's not very many Swarm Hosts, that's when Snute can try to overrun him.
Very tense situation here from Nestea. He does not want to go down to that loser's match. He realizes he's down in bases, making a big tech switch here to try to get himself back into the game. 4 Swarm Hosts are in production.
Oh, another run by Snute. He's going to go for that third base yet again.
If he can isolate some Swarm Hosts too, because they're going to pop right away, and there they are. Let's see if he can take those down. Of course, he knows about the existence now, going to try to target that one, taking it down to half health. Now going straight to that natural expansion. Drones are going to be a little bit vulnerable here. Of course, Snute is okay, losing some lings here. Of course, he's gaining tech. He's gaining a scout on his opponent as far as tech is concerned, and also killing some drones. Snute is going to be happy with that trade.
Seeing a Swarm Host, he knows his best opportunity to try to hit a timing before there's too many locusts out. If he can get a Roach, Hydra, Infestor combination, he could potentially overrun his opponent's third base. And he has a backup plan as well. A Spire going down for Snute.
Whoa.
He could do some insane muta transition.
That would be ridiculous. All right, we'll stay tuned and find out if that happens. 4 Swarm Hosts going to be buried at the third base there of Nestea. Some lings trying to find out, all right, what's going on. Muta's still patrolling across the map, trying to find those isolated units of Snute, trying to limit those counterattacks. But Snute's still in a good situation economically. He just has to figure out how to deal with these Swarm Hosts and you know, figure out that next step in his game plan. Does he just push to a late game, just keep taking more bases and try to just get a ridiculous economic advantage where he can just trade all day long? Or does he go for some sort of timing attack fairly soon?
I think Snute feels he made too many Infestors to go for a straight-up timing attack. Of course, Infestors are better in prolonged battles, but when you're trying to timing attack against Swarm Hosts, you're more going for the one-hit kill. So what he's going to do, he's going to put on pressure, but his backup plan is going to be to kill his opponent's Mutalisk with this attack, and then do a hard switch into Mutalisk. His opponent will only have Infestors and Roaches if he can take out the Mutalisk of his opponent, and he'll have no anti-air available.
Watch out for the fungal. Snute looking for it, looking for those mutas. Nestea knows this is going on. Some locusts being set forward. Nestea needs to make sure they're similarly timed. That could be a little bit problematic if they're not. Some fungals there onto the mutas. Snute might be going for it.
It looks like he knows the Swarm Hosts are the 30, trying to bypass him, heading to the natural.
Does he have an overseer?
You know, a lot of the locusts aren't on a rally point. They're just kind of hanging out.
Oh, no. There's two overseers here, so he definitely is able to see these Swarm Hosts. Nestea might be in a bit of trouble. A bunch of Infested Terrans going down here from Snute. That's going to be plenty of anti-air to deal with this muta, trying to snag them with that fungal growth. A bunch of lings coming forward. Infestors charging into that natural expansion. Overseers getting targeted down by the mutas, and that can be huge for Nestea, which means no detection onto these Swarm Hosts. Of course, he could potentially fungal the burrowed Swarm Hosts, but nabbing those Mutalisks for the moment. And Infested Terran's going to take those down as well. Snute is up 170 to 123 in supply, trying to take this victory right now.
The Locust may eventually defend this attack, but if Snute can do a lot of damage, he has also killed all his opponent's anti-air units in the Mutalisk, and he's got 12 Mutalisks on his own, so even if this attack fails,
oh my God,
the Muta switch will probably take out Nestea.
Taking down the natural expansion hatchery, now going straight for the main base, straight for that economy, straight for that infrastructure, sending a counterattack to his opponent's third base. Only a few Swarm Hosts are on the map. 5 mutas in production here from Snute, and he already has 10 on the field. Snute gonna try to take this once and for all. Here come the mutas. He's up 175 to 108. There's the GG from Nestea, and Snute takes the 2-1 for Team Liquid, and for, of course, Norway and Team Liquid. That's probably gonna be a nice little Reddit thread there.
Amazing.
Snute 2-1 over Nestea.
Amazing performance by Snute, taking out the legend himself at Nestea's best matchup, no less, using a lot of creative builds and amazing unit transitions as well.
what an amazing series to start off WCS America round of 16. Snute is going to take the victory of match number 1. He will be advancing on to the winner's match of the group. Nestea did lose this match, but he's not out of it just yet. He'll be following to the loser's match of this group, guys. That does it for the first match. Snute takes it 2-1. We'll be back with interview and analysis after a quick break. You're watching WCS America.